necessarily easy to make a pass around here. Mentioned it previously in the circuit build-up. The start-finish straight only just over 500 metres. We've seen much longer straights at most of the venues, frankly, during the 2021 World SBK season. Into turn one's going to be the most obvious passing place, I think.
Yeah, we sort of thought turn 10 might be an overtaking spot, and then everyone did their track walk yesterday and saw just how open it is through 7, 8, and 9. It's really fast through here. So then suddenly down in towards turn 10, it looks like it's going to be a little bit more one line through there. It looks like it's going to be pretty tricky to follow the rider down in towards turn 10. But obviously in the race conditions, we might see some riders just making a daring move. The second half of the lap, you can see from Jonathan Ray from this point on, this is where the track really does remind you of Assen and that closing stage of the lap. And this is one of the areas of the track where the riders were saying grip was a little bit of a struggle through this area. There was a little bit of issues for some riders in the track conditions around here in the P1. Down in towards the last couple of corners, down in towards turns 15 and 16, this is where Paul was really talking about it doesn't look like you're going to make moves. I still think you're going to see moves into there, but it's going to be moves where it's just put the bike down the inside, absolutely block off all paths and try and use that to your advantage. It's not a natural overtaking opportunity.
That's a sort of classic supercross style, down the inside and stop the other person on the racing line. You'll see a little bit of that through turn 16, little doubt about that. Jonathan Ray just crossing the line with a new personal best for him, a 1 minute 34.469, so that's less than a quarter of a second slower than Toprak Razgatlioglu, which bodes well. This is his teammate Alex Lowe's personal best for him as well. Now, a 1 minute 35 flat, so not far away from joining the top 5 who are all into the 1 minute 34s in this session.
Yeah, what's interesting for Ray is pretty much losing all that time in sector 1, matching Toprak in sectors 2, 3 and 4, so he'll know that he needs to make a bit of time between turn 1 and down in towards turn 5, so that's where Kawasaki need to find a bit of a step forward. Lowe's in that sector as well, 0.3 of a second slower than Toprak.
Razgatlioglu set now to improve and underline that pace by putting in another similar lap. He's only 0.03 of a second down after 3 completed sectors. If he puts in a couple here in the 1 minute 34.2s, I think that proves the point, doesn't it?
Well, the point's already been proved by Toprak. He got down to speed really quickly in free practice 1, willing to push a little bit harder than some of the other riders this morning, and he's been able to get good information from both sessions.
Yes, what's interesting, 1,000th of a second down now. That's about as similar as you can get to his previous lap. I think that proves what I was saying. As far as Paul was saying that he was so confident when the low grip conditions, when it was slippery earlier on today, we heard from other riders in between the sessions who were talking about how slippery it was out there, and yet Toprak was able to get down into the 1 minute 34.9s, which is roughly the pace of Scott Redding and Michael Rubin and Aldi, who were 4th and 5th in this session when the track's rubbing into a much greater extent.
Yeah, I was asking Toprak about how he trains and prepares, because obviously we've seen an awful lot on social media of him out there in an R3 racing around go-kart tracks with Keenan and the Anju brothers as well. And what Toprak was saying was basically they go out there, they use the same tyres for a week of running and basically just rag everything. And he says by the end of the week you're trying to set the same time as you would on a new tyre, but it just helps you try and learn and understand how the bike moves around underneath you, how you have to adapt to it, how you have to make changes. And that's where we've seen in the low grip conditions, like Paul said, that's where Toprak has an advantage over some other riders.
I had thought for a moment there you were just going to say, no, it's just for fun. Razgatlioglu certainly likes to entertain himself. I think Keenan got the bug back as well this season when he went out practice himself.
Keenan, of course, was also out in action in Turkish 300 racing where himself and Toprak went down. Toprak was at pains to say he was faster than Keenan up the road as well.
I think Toprak is faster than everyone at the moment. I don't think you've said this before. Few would argue if you said he's among the very top riders in the world at the moment.
Yeah, I think that there's no real question about it. He's done a great job. He's managed to make that package work around him as well. Obviously, we've seen the Yamaha really strong with Locatelli and Burlock through the course this year. Even have to look at Chris Ponson as well. He's had some great performance. I think back to Catalunya finishing inside the top 9 in the Super Bowl race. It shows that the Yamaha package as a whole can work really well. Toprak's just able to get the absolute most out of it.
Yes, he has been able to demonstrate that once again in free practice too. He leads the way on a 1 minute 34.230. Jonathan Ray just 0.2 of a second behind him. Andrea Locatelli best of the rest. Down to Anthony in pit lane.
Thanks, Alex. Dan, in the room with Ducati, positive markers and Benedetto Marco. We've seen the Ducati's been strong in the past in these sort of extreme heat conditions, like Perez last year. Tavara this year. But with the track as slippery as it is right now, what's the feedback been from the riders?
Yeah, well, sure, in FP1, track must improve a lot during the session. We put some rubber on the tarmac, and also the rider has been to learn also about the data. We try different gearing, final gear ratio, and we compare at the end of the session different performance. It seems that the so high temperature doesn't seem the biggest problem. Seems that the bike is working well. We just need area, but we are in general quite happy about the first feedback from the rider.
Thanks, Marco.
Thank you.
7.5 minutes remaining in free practice 2. Jonathan Ray, a quarter of a second down on his latest lap coming into the final sector, loses further ground in sector 4. That's been a trend compared to Razgat Lioglu throughout the day. That final sector that pretty much everyone losing time in.
Yeah, and it is a little bit closer in that final sector compared to what was in free practice 1. Certainly that's an area where you would expect the Yamaha to be quite strong. For Jonathan Ray, he's spent a bit of time in sector 1. He's only a tenth of a second slower than Top Rack now, so he's closing in on what he needs to do. But it is piece by piece for Ray, but obviously enough. No points, no prizes in free practice. It's all about what you're going to do in the Super Bowl session tomorrow, and then obviously the opening race the weekend.
Yes, it is. In that final sector, the race actually made up a little bit of his time compared to Razgat Lioglu, and certainly compared to free practice 1. Toprak still finding the time pretty much everywhere, though, isn't he? Looking good in this session. A couple of tenths clear. This is Axel Bassani. Bassani at the moment sits in P4, and another strong display from him. He sits as top Ducati.
It's interesting when we look at the overall sector times. Obviously, we've seen Top Rack really consistent all the way through today's running. In the first and the fourth sections, Kawasaki had made a step forward. Lewis fastest in sector 1, and Jonathan Ray fastest in sector 4. Top Rack fastest in sector 2 and 3. So it is a case of everyone now trying to find that natural balance and where their bikes work a little bit better than others.
Coming over the line, similar lap to what he had done for his best in this session. Leon Haslam just popped up into P4, so that catches a bit by surprise. Haslam was further down the order than that, 34.6 from Leon Haslam. A couple of signs on occasions for Honda over the course of these 2 free practice sessions so far.
Yeah, and we've seen from Honda over the course of this year, there is a good bike in that package. It's just been a case that they haven't been always able to get the most out of it. It's really competitive for SBK now. When you look at the Yamahas, the Kawasaki's, the Ducatis, all very consistent all the way through. It does make it very difficult if you're not quite able to get to that limit of your bike to then get yourself into those leading positions. We've obviously seen Bautista and Kovic hasn't had a good as well this year, and it has been a case of for both of them, they've had to try and make those steps.
Good for Garrett Gerloff, his start to the weekend. I hope we see it for the rest of the weekend as well, to send him into the winter with a little bit of a confidence boost. He was a little bit closer to the front over the last couple of rounds compared to what he had been. It's been almost an anonymous spell for Garrett Gerloff. You think all the way back to Assen, the first 4 rounds of the season, Gerloff was absolutely superb, and you would have never in a million years believed that Axel Bassani was going to get on terms with him later on in the season and start to challenge for top independent. That's something that Gerloff is actually going to genuinely have to defend over the course of this weekend, because he sits in 8th position in the championship.
Yeah, and certainly for Gerloff, up until Assen, really looked like he was consistently at the front, able to run at the same pace and really battle with everyone in those leading positions. Had some podiums at the start of the year. I think Leon Haslam had some credit there for room for Haslam. I just remember the Park Fairway a couple of times, but certainly for Garrett Gerloff, hopefully this is the sign of what we're going to see from him again next year. We want to see him up the front of the field. He's an exciting rider. He's obviously had some tough times through the course of this season, but we want to see him able to show exactly what he can do in the Super Bowl.
Yes, Haslam's had a P4 and a P5. That's close enough. Season is concerned. Second set to move on from SBK. 3 minutes still on the clock for FP2. Razgat Lioglu, the fastest man out there, but Jonathan Ray has chipped away at that margin. Garrett Gerloff also very much on the pace. Leon Haslam with that stunning effort to go P4. Alex Lowe's currently rounds out the top 5. We come in now to the final laps from all of our big guns. Michael Vandermark just personal best, 1 minute 34.938.
Yeah, so we've got the leading 11 riders now in the 1 minute 34s as well. So it is getting a lot closer now with Scott Redding all the way down in 11th, but V8 tenths of a second off pace. On course for improved lap time now as well. Alvaro Bautista on course for a fast lap as well at the halfway stage. Toprak on course for a consistent lap there, 34.3. Has got a tenth of a second off his fastest time, but still faster than what we've seen from anyone else.
That's when Razgat Georgiev can set a time that isn't an improvement, but is still faster than anyone else. That he's able to underline just the consistency that he's going to be able to demonstrate over the course of this weekend. Alvaro Bautista, well, we've just seen Leon Haslam put in a really strong lap. He's now made his way back into the pits, so that may well be the end of his session, at least competitively. Alvaro Bautista here, see if he can match his teammate. He actually betters him, goes up into P4, and again, a reminder, we've got less than a second covering the top 12 in this session.
Yeah, for the top 12, it's only 8 tenths of a second separating them. It's going to get a little bit closer now as well. Scott Redding just coming into the last couple of quarters. We catch up with the number 45. He's half a second off the pace, but could move himself up a couple of positions here.
He needs to gain 2 tenths of a second. He'll move all the way up from 12th position and up to 7th, and that's exactly what happens. 34.827. Redding does go P7. Meanwhile, out on the second with 2 minutes to go, Garrett Gerloff heads into the 3rd sector, and he's up at the halfway mark on Razgatliov.
Yeah, Gerloff up by 400ths of a second, so good run through the first half of the lap, just about to come through to the end of sector 3 as well. We'll keep an eye on his lap times on the number 31 Yamaha. Lose a bit of ground in sector 3, is 2 tenths of a second off now.
Andrea Locatelli also losing a couple of tenths of a second through that 3rd sector.
Lempar-lemparin suka sama pinutupa.
Scott Redding with a strong first sector on his latest one.
Oh,
It's away now from the checkered flag falling, so we're in towards final lap territory for several of these riders. Michael Ruben Rinaldi and Scott Redding into the second half of their latest laps. Both a couple of tenths of a second down at this stage, but Garrett Gerloff 6 tenths down in the end on his latest lap. We saw him come up with a single lap cracker late on in F1. He's got to kind of justify that pace over a longer distance over the course of tomorrow.
Yeah, well, he's been able to put in 3 pretty fast laps in a row there, 34.4 and then a 34.7 and 34.8, so decent little consistency there again in this section.
Scott Redding, 2 tenths of a second down. He should be able to get this lap completed and have time for one more free practice 2. Redding is at the moment the only rider on the move as far as the front runners are concerned. Chaz Davies has just made up a couple of positions, but only into P15, so work for him to do over the course of this weekend. Redding crosses the line to go with F5, splits Bautista and Haslam in the pecking order. 134.579, Scott Redding's time, 3.5 tenths of a second down from Razgatliov. Right on board.
Yeah, Redding actually fastest of all in sector 3 as well now, so he's been able to find some progress over the course of the last couple of sessions as well.
Alvaro Bautista won't improve on his final lap. He's lost over a second through sector 2 after being 7 thousandths of a second up through sector 1. Razgatliov there exiting the final turn and crosses the line to complete his session. That's it. 34.612, so a little bit slower than his previous lap. He's not going to mind too much about that. Razgatliov, he's got this session, he's got Friday sewn up here at the Mandalika International Circuit, and with a series of stunning laps faster than his nearest rival, John.
Yeah, and what's going to be interesting is to see that for Toprak, he's fast in each of the sectors, very fast in sector 2, but for Jonathan Ray, he's making most of his lap time the second half of the lap.
Chaz Davies gets caught up behind Oliver Koenig. What looks set to be his personal best, but so that's going to go away from him now. Makes his way through on the inside line. And that's where we're talking about the potential overtaking zone in between turns 15 and 16. It's certainly one of the slowest, if not the slowest, on the circuit. And Chaz Davies using that to good effect to get through Oliver Koenig. It is a new personal best, but I fancy that Davies probably would have moved up in position to be who's effectively a back marker with all due respect this weekend on this weekend.
Yeah, Chaz lost 7 tenths of a second in that final second, so that's catching moving into that second. Progress in this session, he's been able to get himself well underneath the 110% time that you have to set to qualify for a race, and he's been able to find, I think, about 3 seconds in this session as well, so he's been able to make a big step forward on that Kawasaki as well.
This turn, so probably not too far off players who've been doing it by second half of the season, to be honest.
Yeah, we've seen the likes of Magnus and Crescent. He actually played 4.5 seconds in this session, so he's made a big step forward from this morning. Obviously, enough track conditions have improved a lot, but for Oliver, he's also trying to learn how to ride a World SBK bike. This is his first outing on a World SBK spec bike. He has ridden the Superbike in the Endurance World Championship.
Yes, but even then, for only a fairly limited spell, having jumped straight up from Supersport 300, which is a world away from what he's going to be racing this weekend, and send best of luck to him to try and mix it with these big guns is far from easy. In fact, 1.7 seconds covering the entire field aside from Koenig, who's down in 20th position, so just to underline how close they are. A bit of a gap behind the top 12 positions. Isaac Vignales, 12th fastest, less than 3 seconds slower than Tom Razgapti in P1, and then 4/10 to Tom Sykes next best. So we've seen two groups develop over the course of FP2. We've got 7.5 covering the top 12, and then 1.7 covering the entire 19, with Oliver Koenig the outsider, as it were, in that sense.
Yeah, it's also worth mentioning that Isaac Vignales up there inside the top 12, only 7/10 of a second off, being able to carry forward that form that we saw in Portimao in Argentina. That's good to see from the Arnaud Kawasaki team.
Yes, for him as well, as he heads towards the winter. We're winter in Europe, but it certainly doesn't feel like it at the moment for me, I can tell you that. The humidity here in Indonesia really is quite stunning. It's open the country box door is like opening your other door.